Hello all. I'm finally here. We've got all the familiar faces in chat, and so we're going to stream some Dark Souls. I was talking about it the other day. I was watching the Awesome Games Done Quick thing. I'm not going to even try and do the acronym for that shit because I always screw it up. Anyway, I saw them doing Dark Souls 2, and I was like, man, I should finish Dark Souls. I never finished this game. I heard there's an update now where you don't even have to try and connect to Windows games for Windows Live, so that's cool. I'm down with that. So anyway, we're gonna start fresh. We're gonna start from the beginning. And someone linked me a thing that should make it a little easier for me to get going, get started. So let's go ahead and oh fuck, the screen region's all off. Hold on. Let me go ahead and just fix that. There we go. Just kind of, there we go. That looks good. There we go. Good. There we go. Now we can stream it. Dark Souls. Yeah. Okay. New game. Act 1. I remember being able to move around some. I don't know what's up with this. Looks a little different too. Oh. What is this? A girl in grubby chainmail sits hunched over the fire. A human, yet somehow she looks as if she'd be home amongst my friends from the asylum. She didn't react to my dramatic entrance, so I assume she hasn't noticed me. I approach with caution. What is this anime bullshit? Crestfallen Knight. Well, what do we have here? I guess I need to do voice acting. Okay, well, what's a good voice for this? Well, what do we have here? Good voice acting. Good start. You must be a new arrival. I nod uncertainly. I've come here to seek the fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. She looks at me like she deals with crowborn chosen ones on a daily basis. The fuck is any of this? But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. I get the feeling that this conversation isn't one that I want to be involved in any longer. Just look, what is with the different text? Just looking at her makes me feel uneasy. Still, this may be the only opportunity I have to ask. Oh, hi, Hootie. As you can see, I am playing Dark Souls. The bells. What do you know about them? She lets out an exasperated sigh. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually 2 bells of awakening. One up above in the undead church, and the other far, far below in the ruins of the base of Blighttown. Ring both of them and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you, so off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To the accursed lands of the undead. Ha 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 ha. Good. Oh, your face. You're practically hollow. Who knows? Going hollow could solve quite a bit. Ha 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 ha. Thanks, Hootie. I will. Yes. Yeah, someone didn't read the basics on how to do art. In that, like, your arm length should be about 7 heads long. So in other words, it looks about 2 maybe each, which means that she's some weird kind of short person or a very deformed person. I was wondering about this myself. At least you seem intact. How? Well, what? Restoring your humanity? Well, there are a few ways you can go about it. You can collect bit by bit from corpses, or you can butter up a cleric to get yourself summoned. The quickest way, although, is to never do it. I'd never do it, is to kill a healthy undead and pillage its humanity. Coveting thy neighbor is the only human thing. Is only human after all, ha 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 ha. Corpses. There certainly wasn't a shortage of those. I can't read today. Great day to read this. Glimpse of a rotten corpse draped over the edge of a well. I try not to imagine how he wound up there. The enticing wisp of vapor floats above his chest. Even from here, I can feel its energy radiate through the cold, still air. A tiny piece of soul, humanity. I draw it into myself. A chill ripples through me. It's the hardest drink I've ever had. I feel alive already. Satisfied, again, the text changes. Satisfied, I walk over to the bonfire and thank my unlikely friend. She meets myself. What? Oh, she meets my self-satisfied smile with a look of contempt. Do you feel better now? I nod. It's really weird how it keeps changing the font. That just weirds me out. This is entirely how Dark Souls looks. I nod, but I feel as if a joke is being made at my expense. Probably is, considering how I'm, reading. Well, if you're satisfied, I won't interfere. I stare at her, expecting a better answer. Well, what is it? Oh, nothing. You're just all still skin and bones. Well, mostly skin and rashes. I glare at her, the most disapproving manner my beef jerky face is capable of. Still, if you want my advice, you should offer that humanity to the fire. Well, unless if you prefer being hollow. Not that I blame you. The text keeps getting smaller. Offer it. The thought seems almost sinful, but I look at my hands, stretching my fingers and watch the dry skin crack and contort into ugly, misshapen folds. Every muscle is a dull ache and a bed of weeping sores. I decide it's worth a try. I squat down next to the fire, willing to divulge its secrets, but it crackles away defiantly, unmoved by my plea. Do not try and injure yourself. Okay, then, help me. How am I supposed to do this? This is Dark Souls, obviously. Well, if you can't figure that out, the undead may be awaiting their reckoning a good while longer. I guess I'm on my own. I hold my hands to the bonfire. Its heat is soothing. I am soon in a state of trance. Humanity has no distinct location. It crackles beneath my skin, rolls through my veins, melts away when called upon. I'm going to start a pot of tea. You can just enjoy this. Kind of sounds like what you hear when you're riding in a plane. I wonder if that's where they got the audio from. I'll be right back. Some tea would be nice for my throat. Might make it a little easier to read. As weird as that sounds. I focus on the warmth of the bonfire, trying to will my humanity towards its flames. Gradually, the fire spreads through me, searing my flesh, turning my seedy bones into charcoal. I'm going to die, I realize, and that's okay. There are worse ways to die. I'm at peace. But I don't die. Slowly, the heat subsides when the flames finally sputter out. My flesh has been re-knit, smooth and warm, unblemished. With a shudder, I return to consciousness. I will not be doing that again. Oh, you did it. Although I relish her cheery companion. I started to think that it might be in my best interest to get moving, lest I get settled here and lose my nerve. I stroll through the ruins. A stroll around the ruins reveals 3 possible paths. A set of stairs leading up towards some sort of bridge, a second sort of stairs leading to the graveyard, and a questionable elevator. Some familiar silhouettes can be seen on the first stairway. Groaning vanguard of the undead has made its rear appearance at its foot. Those armored hollows are a mob that I want nothing to do with. The elevator doesn't seem any safer. Who knows how reliable its creaky old machinery is. It's a long, long way down. The graveyard appears to be empty. It seems like a logical choice, but I've never been comfortable around cemeteries. It sounds absurd to someone rapidly making a career out of being sliced It sounds absurd that someone rapidly making a career out of slicing up hollows would be bothered by a little graveyard, but my intuition served me well so far. Alright, I always forget where I need to go here, and I ended up getting... First time I played the game, I was like, oh, there's one below, so I just went and got destroyed by some wraiths. Anyone know? Because I don't think it's the graveyard. I guess it's the stairs up, right? Is this the famous game or the shitty game? Oh, this is definitely Dark Souls. This is the hard game. This is the game that everyone's like, man, you know, games are so hard. Okay, let's go up the stairs. No point in deliberating. I have to start this quest sometime. I stride over the stairs and begin climbing, pausing at the landing and gather myself. My hand finds the hilt of my sword as I make the last few steps. Around the corner, a hollow standing on a small plateau proceeding more stairs. There is no light in his eyes. It kind of looks like there is. His limbs are thin and worn. One hand wrapped firmly around the hilt of a broken straight sword, the other behind a cracked wooden shield. Not exceptionally well equipped. I instinctively carry out a well-practiced motion. Right hand drawing my sword, left reaching behind to pull my shield free. Another step forward, the hollow notices me, letting out a low groan, shuffling in my direction. Raising its sword arm, my shield comes up instinctively. I like how they shifted it slightly. The hollow swings down hard. Its blunt sword bounces harmlessly off my shield. It seems neither to understand nor care. I can't simply block forever. I take a step back, give myself a little more room, and swing my considerably more impressive sword across his chest. That looks like an iron shield to me, but whatever. A thin trail of red traces the arc of the blade, a small spray of dark blood spurting from the wound. Yet the hollow is not easily dispatched, so it raises its sword again. My shield arm follows suit. I continually blocking is a truly exhausting effort, especially given that hollows strike much harder than their spindly arms would suggest. Oh, hi, Limes. This is Dark Souls. Don't you remember this part with the hollows in Dark Souls, Limes? This is definitely Dark Souls. This game is hard. Another blow bounces from my shield. The hollow is momentarily stunned from the impact. I seize the opportunity to bury my longsword deep into his chest. Now a familiar glow of souls pours onto me as it collapses. I take my time to look around as there's a second hollow nearby, but it doesn't seem to have noticed me. I give my shield arm a second to recover before stepping forward. I'll let my stamina recover, it means, as before. This hollow notices me only when I'm a few steps away because its aggro range is short. Turning to take a swing. Its strikes falls short. I step forward. That's music. I step forward, chambering my sword arm for a strong thrust. A second too late, I catch it, pivoting a backswing, straight for my left side. Too committed to the strike, I have no time or footing to raise my shield. The sword proved sharp enough to cut through the leather between the plates in my chest, sinking in with a dull squishing sound. Alive or undead, taking a sword to the gut is always going to be painful. The whole region lights up in searing pain. Thankfully, the benefit of being undead means that it won't be lethal. I let out a groan and recoil from the strike, but remain on my feet. My sword, on the other hand, seems to have done substantially more work to the hollow, its body sliding neatly off the blade. I stumble back a few steps and reach for my Estus flask. A long swig from the emerald flask fills me with warmth and energy. The feeling of Estus is reassuring. Nothing like anything else here. A glance down reveals my side is already healed, a fast fading mark being all that is left of what might have killed a man moments ago. God, I love Estus. A third hollow is before me, and they didn't bother to draw a different thing for him. Similarly oblivious to my presence, unlike his friends, seems to be a little bit more lucid. I don't fucking care. We fight the hollow, and there's another hollow, and he's throwing shit at me, and I stabbed him, and then... At least individually, these hollows aren't too hard to handle if approached with patience and focus. Though clearly out for blood, they seem unfamiliar with the subtleties of combat and openly display an intent to attack, apparently showing little regard for defense. This hollow opening... Okay. Entering the bridge through the small door leads me to what looks like a sewer channel. An enormous rat squeals and turns away from me, running over to bury its head in the... Yeah. Alright, whatever. There we go! Oh, hey! It's the Undead Berg! Or, no, the place that's above it. Whatever. Fuck it. I climbed the staircase out of the tunnel. Yay! It's the Undead Berg! I'm doing good! Yes! Yes! Fuck! There's more of them. Alright, so we fight these guys too. I just want to get to Solaire, honestly. Alright, so we found the thing. Feeling surprisingly well rested after the short break, I step up against, once again drawing my sword and shield as I exit the doorway. Small stone bridge over the deep channel of building seems like a way forward. I move towards it, just as a firebomb explodes across it. A group of hollows, perched on a wooden platform a few floors up, are lugging firebombs at the narrow crossing, giving me all the more reason to believe that they're smarter than they act up close. It doesn't seem to add up. Many of them are well positioned in smart formations and positions, yet close they are sluggish, hardly reacting to the ebb and flow of combat, as if following some predetermined script. Interesting. Gameplay is reading. I realize this. This is good. This is what's good. This is how I remember playing this game. Noticing the rhythms of the bombs, I raise my shield to the left and sprint across, reaching the other side of this familiar pattern as I save the axe. Wound for the shoulder, another that I've... Okay. That being said, it's hard to describe what any axe wound as small. More Estes takes care of it, thankfully filled by the recent bonfire. As I progress upwards, the strange pattern continues. Two well-positioned melee defenders protecting a firebomb thrower, almost immediately giving up their well-planned position to charge straight for me. Perhaps the groupings are habits of time before undeath, or perhaps just before they went hollow. So before blah 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 blah. Yes, this is familiar. Gold pine resin, a rare resin collected and dried and powdered. Running some of it through my fingers, I see golden sparks jump between the grains. Perhaps there's some truth in the rumor. I take it. Pocketing the fucking more fights. I realize it's a fighting game. But no. No. Traverse the white light, yes. I remember something bad happening here. On the other side, the fog seems oblivious. I'm on top of the higher outer walls of the berg. The tower I was just in would have linked to this wall on the other side in a full circle had not the opposite doorway collapsed. That was close enough to what it said. I don't... Further down the wall, most of the parapets have been destroyed, as if crushed by a huge force. This looks remarkably unsafe. Music, chill the fuck out. Well, I didn't get all the way up here to stand still and think about the scenery. What is that fog protecting anyway? The wall doesn't seem too remarkable. I tighten my grip on my sword and take a step away from the fog. Yeah! You could have this shit playing in one of those dark rave bars. Yeah! Why don't I go fight Havel instead? I don't know. Anyway, I stepped away from the fog and into the wall, and glanced behind me shows there's a ladder near the archway. I exited leading to the top of the tower. I take note of a look up there later. A low rumble draws my attention to the tower across the wall from me. What? What the hell is that? An enormous demon with the head of a bull holding a hammer larger than my entire body as if it weighs nothing is staring at me. It's roaring, I can't move. My right foot slides back and there's the teapot. Hold on. Now I have TV. Alright, my right foot slides back into a defensive stance. My shield arm rises meekly. Whatever. My shield arm meekly rises. Not that blocking that hammer will help much at all. I take a step towards me. I can feel the ground let out a small shudder as one of the huge hooves lands. I need options, now. My mind is racing. I shuffle back slightly, knowing full well that it won't help at all. Options now. The ladder, I could try and climb it. Attack from above. I'd have been able to make it before if I had acted immediately. But now it's too close. I could hold my ground and block and counterattack. My most practiced strategy. I don't like the look of that hammer. I might be able to take a single hit, and then try and cripple it from there. Neither of those strategies sound great. I could try and abuse my mobility, dive past its attack, and move to the other side of the bridge. How fast could it possibly swing that hammer? Hopefully not fast enough. That's risky too. More steps by the demon. It looks damn angry. So huge, I need to decide now. Climb the tower. Hold your ground, roll through. I always climbed the tower. I'll let you guys choose. I'm going with climb the tower unless someone says something. Pine resin buff, climb tower. The ladder, if I can make it to the top, it will give me a lot of options. I turn around and sprint for the ladder, ignoring the roar of the demon behind me. I hear the sound of hooves hitting the stone in quick succession. Looks like it doesn't like my plan. I set my shield on my back as I run, hitting the ladder fast. No turning back now. I begin to climb, one hand over the other. No turning back. Next rung, next. My leg crushed against the stone wall. The metal ladder it was resting on against it bent flat against it as if it were paper. I find that I can't see properly. Everything is red, blurry, and painful. Where exactly am I? A roaring, deafening roar snaps me out of it. I'm at the base of the ladder. Yellow eyes full of deep hatred. Yellow eyes full of hatred glaring at me. A raised hammer. Oh. Okay. Well, at least I don't have to walk all the way back here. YOLO eyes. Okay, I'm back. Let's roll through this time. What are my advantages here? He's bigger, stronger, and in better position. He doesn't have a shield, but with strength and the size difference here hardly seems to matter. Speed, I guess I'll have that. There's no way to swing that hammer faster than I'll be able to react. Time to do something stupid. Not that being here in the first place isn't stupid. My right foot slides back, just a little deeper than usual. My weight shifts, just slightly forwards. The timing has to be perfect. I know how to move around it. I can dodge. It's all about if I can dodge it in time. Too early or too late and it's over. Patience is one thing, but patience with the resolve to act immediately when necessary is another. Another step. It's close now. Another. Probably close enough for it to hit me. I tense my back leg. It roars, raising the hammer over its head. My right arm twitches. It's hell. The beast really lacks subtlety. Abuse the frames! Abuse the frames! My right foot explodes off the ground, sending me forward. I pass the right leg of the Taurus demon as I head. You know what? I fucking can't read today. That's a great day for this shit. The art on this is pretty alright. I like the little effects of the dust. That's pretty good. My arms touch the ground and push off lightly, bringing my legs over my head in a well-practiced rolling motion. Fucking Dark Souls! Rolling around on the ground in full plate. I move. A move that is so useless against the most conventional enemies sure comes in handy at times like this. No time to think about how amazing it probably looked. As soon as I regain my footing, I twist for a broad strike against the back of the demon's leg. I was right, it's slow, not fast enough to turn to stop me, even if it wasn't trying to lift that hammer up at the same time. Its skin is thick and hard, but thankfully not so much so that a well-placed strike isn't effective. A deep red line drawn across its back of its right thigh. Not enough to immobilize the beast, but enough to slow it down. Enough to hurt it, right? I raise my sword up again for a stab this time. I see a huge three-fingered hand coming towards me. Too greedy. A punch lands in my chest. More than enough force to send me flying back the length of the wall. The worst angle could have sent me off the side right now. I suppose I should call myself lucky. It's harder to do that when you think. It's harder to do that than you'd think when you're a certain. You know what? Fuck it. Moving forward. Cringing, I pick myself up again. Still able to stand. That's a good sign. Everything seems to be working. I just want to get to Solaire. The beast roars. Lifts its huge hammer again, turning to face me with an earth-shaking stomp. Trading hits like that won't go well for me. I thought that strike to its leg would have been much slower, but it seems angrier, if that's possible, more than anything else. But it's got to be moving a little slower, right? Yeah, much slower, gotta be. It's coming for me too quickly. Now that I think of it, why am I even holding a shield anymore? Even if I manage to catch a hit with it, it won't do me much good. Either the force of the hit will send me flying off the edge, or worse, will crush me into the ground. Hell, I could probably do both of those without the hammer. I hook the shield onto my back, bring the other hand to the hilt of my sword. To fight like this is much more dangerous, both for myself and to anyone I'm fighting. To remove the comfort I find behind the shield, even if I knew it was meaningless here, makes me vulnerable. Naked, vulnerable, dangerous, dick out. I face the demon. It's stopped. No, it's stopped. Its legs crouch slightly, it lowers its shoulders. It's about to jump. Rolling seems to be good. Let's go. I don't want to be anywhere near it I don't want to be anywhere near that when he strikes. Leaping into an attack with the strength of its hammer is a gross overkill. Fighting against its natural instincts to back away from things like this, I throw myself forward towards it. I launch myself upward, just as I suspected, and as before I dive towards it, this time looking to go under its legs. Recovering from the roll without holding onto the shield is much easier. I quickly start to rise, before the entire wall shakes. A sizable rock flying past my face. Another clipping off my shield on my back. I see he's landed. It's also not helpful that it keeps changing the font size and, type. We fight the beast some more. We fight it some more. If I run to the tower, things happen. I get up on top of it, and I'm up there. Two hollow archers seem to have completely missed the battle until now. I do not have time for this. Okay, I beat up them, and then I jump off the top. I'm just gonna speed read some of this shit because no one cares. That perspective's a little wonky. Shouldn't it say something else? Exiting the archway, I can see I've reached the upper bridge of the berg. I'm higher up than I realized. I think my tea is probably cool enough to drink now. Let's get some of that action going on. Oh, fuck, that's hot. Ugh. Ah, I burned my tongue. Fuck, that hurts. To my left is a long, wide surface of bridge. Scorched black by some unknown source. Bodies of hollows burned black, scattered along its length. Good. I'm doing that thing again, like I was yesterday. How recently was this done? To my right, the last sight that I would have expected here. Yay, it's Solaire! Who is this figure, looking so serene, gazing at the sun in a place like this? I should introduce my... Okay, I should probably do different... I should do a different voice. What kind of voice does Solaire have? Someone want to describe it? Praise the fucking sun! I'm just gonna use my well-known voices. Ah, hello there! You don't look all far from it. I am Solaire of Asteria, heir into the Lord of Sunlight. Her words are so calm and sure, said with a charming smile. I have no idea how to respond. My nerves are on edge after fighting the Taurus demon. In comparison, I must appear so raggedy. Who might you be? Oh yes, I'm the chosen undead. I've come for the upper bell of awakening. What brings you here? Now that I am undead, I come to this great land to bring the space of Lord Gwyn. I sing my own very son. It's good. That's what Solaire sounds like. I remember this. Her very own son? She says it as if it was the most normal thing in the world to seek. Your own son? Do you find that strange? Well, you should. I raise a curious eyebrow through my helmet, though my helmet probably doesn't give that away. No need to hide your reaction! I get that look all the time! Ah! I can't help but smile. Crazy as this quest may seem, this Solaire carries an aura of calm, cheery confidence, so contrary to the feel of the rest of the berg. This conversation feels like something from a completely different world to the one that I was in a few minutes ago. Your very own son, you say? How does your search go so far? Ah! Hi! Oh. Ah! Hi! So I didn't scare you. Well, then I have a proposition if you have a moment. Yes. Well, anyway, I see that our fates appear to be intertwined. We must have had good fortune to meet in such trying times. The land brimming with hollows could have barely been a mere chance. So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey? Yes! This pleases me greatly. So, well then, take this. She hands me a white soapstone. Its edges seem to reflect a little more light than they should. We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time in itself is very convoluted. The heroes of a century-old facing in and out. Very fabric wavers
The relationship is obscure. There's no way of telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Jolly cooperation!
My neighbors love me, by the way. We talk often. And by talk often, I mean every time I leave at the same time as they do, they just kind of glare at me. I haven't had them flip me off yet, but it's the kind of expression that you give when you flip someone off.
Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun, spawned my sun, summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind. Oh! I do apologize. I intend to ramble on. I won't keep you any longer. I have no doubts that your quest is very important to you as well. I will say bye-bye and then gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like the magnificent Father. If only I could be so grossly inconsistent.
And with that, she turns back to the balcony and raises her gaze to the sun, its rays peeking through the thick clouds. Sorry, I had to burp. Doubtless the strangest conversation you've had so far, but it left me feeling reassured. I glanced at the soapstone still in my hand. What had she meant by crossing the gap between worlds? I turned back to face the bridge, my head drifting reluctantly back to the world outside the small balcony. I'm covered in sweat. Dirt, sweat, and demon blood. I'm still shaking from the fight, but there's no time for a break. After a few false starts, I have encountered a human sane enough to hold a conversation. An instinct says she's not the only one. It's a heartening thought, though it doesn't and it does a lot more to keep me moving than the nebulous fate of the undead. Before me lies an old stone bridge, with a smattering of garden-variety hollow warriors, each equipped with a set of worn-out plate armor and a blunted weapon. These don't make much of a challenge anymore. I become stronger, faster, better, and make sure that in my movements I can dispatch one of these gangs of undead in no time. I stride confidently onto the bridge, ready to take on some hollows when... Roar. I should probably voice act that. Roar. A guttural roar rattles across the bridge, shaking the dormant undead into action, but they're quickly becoming the least of my worries as they disappear into the shadows of a tremendous red dragon. Well, a riverine, actually. Roar. But now is not the time to be recalling my education. The creature descends from the bridge, snarling at its inhabitants. It opens its mouth. I open my mouth, and send a pillar of flame curdling across the bridge, incinerating the stunned hollows. I can feel the suffocating heat radiating off the cobblestone even from here. Panicking, I dive to the right and take cover behind a waist-high wall in the bridge, which instantly becomes superheated by another blast of fire. As the beast takes aim once more, I notice a set of downward stairs by the walls. I tumble inelegantly down them to safety. To safely? Safety. Good. Hey, Manny! You subbed, thank you. Manny has been around for a hell of a long time. And this is the game you decide to sub to me to. I really shouldn't give you shit, but this is probably not the best. Thank you. That's what I really mean. And sorry I'm streaming bad things. I guess that's what I'm really going for here. Oh, tell Limes to get back in here. And also to watch me play Dark Souls, because this is Dark Souls. I emerge at the bottom, choking on dust, trembling and entirely devoid of dignity. But alive. So much for a glorious demon slayer, I suppose. But I'm not out of the woods yet. I realize I've gotten wherever here may be, but not getting out. Just hope there's another way to find back to the Firelink. A single hollow stands between... Guard, fuck it. When do we get the part where it's interesting again? Let me talk to Solaire. Is it possible for the undead to contract disease? Okay. Oh, it's this place. I remember, right? Can you guys see my mouse? I don't think you can. No, you can't. Well, imagine my mouse being on screen, right? Almost in the direct center of the screen. Slightly to the left. There's a little bit of the bridge that's broken. And I saw a sign there once that said, try jumping off or something like that. So I did. Undead Parish. But to get there, I have to mow down a garrison of a small army of hollows. There's a handful of troops. Collect around a cast iron statue. Behind them, a row of crossmen and provide backup. Hollows aren't particularly good shots, but they are in these numbers. They don't have to be. Whatever. I grit my teeth. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. This is how you read visual novels, by the way. You just say blah, blah, blah until you get to tits. I think that's how it works, right? Wait, where am I now? Chosen undead. Feeling a bit more rested, I've turned around to my blah, blah, blah. Interesting. I haven't forgotten about my goals, but I won't pretend that I'm not delaying exploring that parish. It's me curious enough for a look, at least. Crossing the narrow walkway leaves me near a gate, but much more interesting is the sight robs me of the opportunity to investigate. Feels like some... That's the fucking onion. Yeah. A solitary figure sits before the huge gate, clad in armor vaguely reminiscent of an onion, but clearly not hollow. An opportunity not to be missed. Greetings, friend. Okay, I need a different voice. Let me look at the voices that I can do. Yes. Obviously. It seems as if she hasn't noticed that I'm here.
Oh, ha! Forgive me, I was absorbed in thought. I'm Sigmire of the what the fuck is this? The Catarana. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. Hi, hello, I am the...
Oh, wait. Hi. Hello, I am the Chosen Undead. The pleasure is mine. If you don't mind me asking, what are you doing here?
Quite honestly, I ran flat up against the wall. Or gate, I should say. The thing won't budge. So I sit here, quite a pickle. Waited my options, so to speak. Ha 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 ha!
Look up at the tower with that bell. That has to be it, but there's no way it'll be this easy. I should bring help. So should I bring Sigmire or Solaire? What the fuck did... I like the people who just joined and they're like, what the fuck did I get? What is this? Summon Solaire. Walking up to the parish, I notice a glowing mark scrawled on the ground. Crouching down, I examine them more closely. The sign appears to be several runes I can't decipher, glowing a rich yellow-orange. Is this the summon sign that Solaire was talking about? The comment about being blind to miss it would make sense. It certainly stands out. What is exactly the term she used?
Jolly cooperation!
That sounds exactly like what I need. I touch my hands against the sign. Immediately it shines brighter, glowing. I can see how someone obsessed with the sun would like it. And just as quickly it vanishes. Huh? I take a few steps back. Did I do something wrong? No, it's just summoning in this game is balls sometimes. A bright circle fades into focus where the sign was, and from its center, two hands slice from the stones, followed by head and torso. Before I know it, there she is, her arms stretched over her head in a strange gesture.
Hello there! I see that you took me up on my offer. Splendid! I hope I can be of assistance.
I suppose I shouldn't be shocked. This is exactly what I was hoping would happen. Still, how it works is a complete mystery to me. It seems not quite as here as I am somehow. What? She seems not quite as here as I am somehow. Though, no doubt, she will be helpful. She's glowing, orange-yellow, light pouring softly out of her armor and skin.
Oh, ha! You haven't performed summoning before? Well, I hope I didn't scare you. Ha!
It's a good sound. No, I haven't. Are you here?
Good question. Soapstone summoning me is an old ritual. Ancient rituals just... And Lord Ran. The flow of time is distorted. Oh, the white sign soap allows the undead to assist one another.
She pulls the white soapstone. She pulls out a white soapstone like the one she gave me on the bridge.
I'm here as a sunlight phantom, as you can do the same, you know. You think of me as merely visiting, but do not worry, I should still be helpful.
She draws her sword and taps it against a nearby brick. It rings out and sends up some dust. Well, she's certainly not a ghost. Well, then you can be struck here too. Yes? I'd like to ask for your help, but it seems like it would be quite dangerous.
Ah, yes, I expect as much, but don't worry, us warriors of the sun are not to be taken lightly. Indeed, dying as a phantom will merely send me back to my world, nothing permanent. Ah!
I don't quite understand, but she seems happy to help, something I'm grateful for. I see. Well, I thank you for your assistance. You know, sometimes I wonder if it's me being dyslexic or if it's just that the grammar is fucked. Spelling's bad. I see. Well, I thank you for your assistance. I'm trying to ring the bells of awakening, the first of which lies atop the tower here. I'm expecting guards. I thank you.
Well then!
She draws her shield to accompany the blade.
Shall we be off?
Her confidence is infectious. Having defeated the Taurus demon alone, I feel good about our chances with whatever is in store with us above. Following her lead into the church, I take out note of her equipment. She carries a plain-looking sword, longsword, similar to my own, but very slightly longer and a little less tapered. It's clear from a distance that it is well forged, an excellent blade, kept in good repair by a diligent hand. I draw my sword and shoot her a sly grin.
That's an innuendo.
Nice sword.
Ah, you too! Ah, you too! This sunlight straight sword seen me through a lot.
Sunlight straight sword. What a grandiose name. As much as I'll make fun of it, I admire the attitude a lot. It's not the nature of the equipment itself, but the person wielding it. Blunt dagger in the hands of a skilled assassin is much deadlier than the sharpest sword. This is some shit read by some fucking fantasy bullshit. The blade is clear. Alright. Yeah. So we're doing the thing. And then she kills another thing. It's enchanted. And then we traverse the white light. Alright, we're gonna kill the gargoyles and then we'll stop. I'm very slightly dyslexic and the grammar is not good. This is a good combination, but hey, at least I can do good voice acting. I step out onto the roof of the parish. It looks precarious, but I find stable footing not as hard as I thought. A few steps towards the bell, and my steps are stopped by a deep cracking sound coming from above. Yeah. That was actually decent. That little, like, riff I had going there. Someone had a really good brush that they downloaded from DeviantArt. You can tell all in this shit here.
Surrender, we should be on opposite sides.
She runs forward without delay, absolutely no thought of hesitation or retreat. I'll take the tail, try and draw it away. I sprint in to catch up. The gargoyle, already close to Solaire, draws it up and raises its huge halberd. It brings it down with a crashing force, sending the roof tiles spraying out in front of it. Solaire deftly rolls out of the way, rising quickly to move into closer range. I need to strike. I lunge in towards its tail and drive my sword along it. A large red gash appearing along it. It roars. A flash out of my corner of my eye. Shields up. A battle axe crashes into my shields with crashing force. I stumble back a few steps. Its tail, it ends in a giant bronze, well-weathered battle axe. Apparently the stone skin didn't give it away that it was an enchanted creature, because I find myself realizing it only now. I'm glad I kept my shield up. If I had switched to both hands on my sword, that could have been very bad. Solaire, watch the tail. Another roar. Solaire carves a deep, long arc across its chest. It rears up on its hind leg, cracking wing. Is this made by someone who actually thinks this is good? It rises above us and bumps into Solaire on my right. She shoots me a confident smile.
Looks like we have the advantage.
Its arms twitch, coming crashing down with its halberd. A huge attack. We leap separate ways, me to the left, Solaire to the right. The halberd landing between us. It landed heavily. Opportunity. I scramble over its tail and press my foot firmly down on it, grabbing my sword with both hands, raising my blade high over my head. I swing down on it hard, again and again. Yeah, whatever. It's writhing furiously, but its foot keeps in place. But the foot keeps it in place. Fucking hell. Its last strike cleaves its tail right off, and the halberd comes out of nowhere, crunching into my side. You know, honestly, fucking, I don't fucking care. I just don't. I just don't give a fuck. If you want to play it, you can go find it. It took me a while. And by it took me a while, I mean I asked people and they found it and then they gave it to me. So it's not really me finding it, is it? If you want to see more, let me know, but that was way too much text for me to give a fuck. If that disappoints you, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go piss. Professionalism at its best. I refer to it as pissing. I'm going to take a short break. There we go. That's a bit more professional sounding. If you'll excuse me, I'll be right back. I'm gonna run an ad real quick. It'll give me enough time to pee and stuff. Got a decent crowd in here. Actually, it says offline, so I don't know how many people we have here. But I'll be right back. Bible Black visual novel. No. Will I stream more? Yeah. I'm going to probably stream actual Dark Souls after I get back. 90 seconds should be nice. It should be enough. I'll be right back.